All right, so I've seen people take this post on Twitter and run with their own take on it, and run with their own assumptions on it, but I don't necessarily see it that way. And I want to just talk about this briefly, but talk about it nonetheless.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. If you guys haven't seen this, this is Rim Protector's impact in 2023. And we can see here it says difference in opponent field goal percentage at the rim and the opponent attempt frequency at the rim when that player is on the court versus off the court. So we're going to take a look at this. Now, before we do, if you guys want to support the channel, as always, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description. Thank you guys so much for sharing this like all over Twitter. This is pretty cool. So if you guys want to support, if you guys want to get yourself some dope merch, clanthemerchfan.com. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's see. All right, I made it pretty big, maybe a little too big. Hold on. All right, so as we can see here, the y-axis, it says opponents attack the rim less often. That's the higher you go. And if you go left, opponents score at the rim more often. And then if you go right, opponents score at the rim less often. And then if you go down, opponents attack the rim more often. So basically, you don't want to be in this realm right here. So a few people have said this. All right, it's quite a few. All right, quite a few. People that aren't Spurs fans, and even a few Spurs fans sent this to me. And they said, "Wow, I thought Jakob was better than he actually is." Jakob is better than he actually is. Okay. All right. Let's not get it mistaken. All right. Shingun here is not a better defender in the paint than Jakob Poeltl. So what is this? Like, what did I take from this? I took basically nothing from it other than it's the team that Jakob is on. Because I've been watching these games, and honestly, there's kind of an open lane to the basket. Not to say that our team is just terrible defensively. I think on an individual level, we have some pretty good defenders. Like Trey Jones is not the worst defender in the world, okay? You look at Jeremy Sohan, obviously he's a good defender. No one would debate that. And Malachi Branham's getting kind of better. He's not a great defender by any means, but he's getting better. I'm just saying on an individual level, they're not terrible. Josh Richardson can hold his own. We're not terrible defensively, all right? But the problem is there's no one in the paint, so they're going to continuously attack, and there's no reason not to. And as far as opponents scoring at the rim, even though this is how I saw this, even though Jakob is all the way down here when it comes to people coming to the rim or opponents attacking the rim, I think it's pretty impressive that he's even close to this middle range as far as opponents score at the rim more often, because he's getting way more heat underneath the rim than a lot of other players have to deal with. If you look around the league, a lot of these other players don't have to deal with what Jakob is dealing with. He is literally by himself. Like, there's no help when he's on the court. At center, there's no help with him. It's not any type of lineups that we can run that could definitely help him in the paint. No, our team is super young. No one is really they can hold their own to an extent, but as far as team defense, it's not phenomenal. Like, we're not a great defensive team, especially as of late. So yeah, it's just nothing here where I'm going to say, oh no, Jakob isn't as good as we thought, because he's not blocking every single player that comes underneath the rim or comes at the rim, even though he's getting the most heat out of anybody in the league. I just, that's not fair. And that's obviously not true. And I'm sorry, Draymond Green is a really good player, but come on. I mean, are we going to start saying Draymond Green's a better rim protector than Jakob? No, he's not. So that's just all. That's what I took from this. I don't think we need to take this and say, oh, all of a sudden Jakob isn't as good as we thought. No, he's still impactful, and I guarantee you other teams know that as well. So whenever they do trade him, hopefully he's not traded by the time I post this video, but whenever he is traded, they're gonna know his value. And you can't go off of this. This just isn't fair. He's getting so many players try to attack the rim. It's just not fair. But then if you take it like a few moments of the season, some people might say, well, shoot, Ja Morant, he destroyed. Ja Morant destroys a lot of people, okay? And Ja has even said himself even after posterizing him. He said post-game, he said, yeah, I kind of have to do that because he's such a good rim protector. So people in the league know how good Jakob is. This season, he hasn't been the best. I think he's been better previous seasons, but that's not on him. Like he has to do a ton for this team right now. So yeah, so don't take this with a grain of salt. I don't think it's that big a deal. It is what it is. And some of these guys, they're not better defenders than Jakob. No, they're not. But anyways, I'll give it to you guys later, man. You want to support the channel as always, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description, or become a Patreon YouTube member. All right, I'll give it to you later. Bye.